New Jersey. Key facts. Abbreviation NJ. Nickname the Garden State. Capital Trenton. Flower common meadow violet. Tree northern red oak. Bird American goldfinch. Shell knobbed whelk. Honest. Motto liberty and prosperity. New Jersey is, let's be honest, the Essex of America. Jersey girls and Jersey boys will forever be mocked in jokes and songs for their dumbness, illiteracy, vulgarity, and sexual availability. The industrial ugliness of much of the state where it borders the Hudson and looks across the river to Manhattan is hard to deny. Jersey City, Newark, Brunswick, Elizabeth, and the chemical factories and choke and pollution they bring have conferred great prosperity, but also a damningly negative image. It'd call itself the Garden State as much as it likes, but it makes no difference. For all of the beauties of Princeton and much of the coastline, Jersey will always, it seems, suffer from being looked on as something of a dump. About as far from Newport, Rhode Island as you can get culturally and demographically. My taxi and I are on our way to a place that has hammered its own nails into the coffin of Jersey's reputation for refinement. Atlantic City. Best known in the 19th and 20th centuries for its boardwalk, all 7 miles of it. Atlantic City on the South Jersey shore was one of the most prosperous and successful resort towns in America. After the Second World War, it free fell into what seems irreversible decline, until, as a last-ditch effort in 1966, the citizens voted to allow gambling. 2 years later, the first casino in the eastern United States opened, and ever since, Atlantic City has been second only to Las Vegas as a popular call into which high and low rollers from all over the world are irresistibly drained. And so I find myself driving into hell. Trumpery. The weather does not help. Heavy bruised skies brood over the grey Atlantic rollers, and on the beach the tide leaves a line of scummy, frothing mousse and soggy litter, the signs advertising fun and family rides on the vile seaside piers tinkle and clang in the sharp wind. The forlorn and spindly Ferris wheel squeaks and groans. Styrofoam coffee cups and flappy burger containers are rolled and tossed along the deserted boardwalk. New Jersey's urban eastern reinterpretation of the mythic tumbleweed and sagebrush of the West. Above tower the hotels, the resort casinos, black facades in whose appearance and architectural qualities the developers have taken a precisely double-zero interest. Would it not have been better to let the seedy resort town, the home of monopoly and remnant of another way of holidaying, simply fall into the sea? Instead, we are given this obscene Gehenna, a place of such tawdry, tacky, tinsely, tasteless, and trumpery tat that the desire to run away clutching my hand to my mouth is overwhelming. But no, I must brave the interior of the most tawdry and literally trumpery tower of them all, the Trump Taj Mahal. For taking the name of the priceless mausoleum of Agra, one of the beauties and wonders of the world, for that alone Donald Trump should be stripped naked and whipped with the scorpions along the boardwalk. It is as if a giant toad has raped a butterfly. I'm not an enemy of developers per se. I know that people must make money from constructions and development projects. I know that there is a demand and that casinos will be built. I can pardon Tribe always with his vanities and junk-boarded dealings and financial brickmanship. I would even forgive him his hair were it it not that everything he does is done with such poisonously atrocious taste, such false glamour, such shallow grandeur, such cynical vulgarity? At least Las Vegas development's postures, as they are, have a kind of joy and wit to them. Oh well, it's no good putting off the moment, Stephen. In you go. The automatic doors of the black smoked glass entrance hiss open, and I am inside. I see at once that the exterior boardwalk side of Atlantic City is deliberately kept as unappealing as possible, just to make sure people stay inside. All you need is within Mina streets complete with Starbucks and burger outlets. There is even a shop devoted entirely to the personality of Donald Trump himself, with quotes from the great man all over the walls. You've got to think anyway, why not think big? And similar comforting and illuminating insights that enrich and nourish the hungry human soul. Everything sold here is in the executive style, like 80s Pierre Cardin's limiting belts of glossy leather, notepads, cufflinks, unspeakable objects made of brass and mahogany. There is nothing here that I would not be ashamed to be seen owning. Not a thing. Oh, must be stay here 1 minute longer. Perhaps I'm just in a bad mood. At the top of the main staircase that leads to the gambling pole, I met up with the PR lady who has arranged for me to be trained as a blackjack dealer. She is perky and charming and seems to love her work. You are so welcome indeed at this facility, she breathes. If there is anything I can do to make your visit with us more pleasurable, it would be churlish to suggest a flamethrower and bazooka, so I grin toothily and follow her to the servants' quarter, the backstage area. Trainee dealer Fry. Down we travel by service elevator and stairway through numbers of corridors until we reach the zone where the staff uniforms are kept. Thousands and thousands of tunics are held on rails which, at the touch of a button, leap to life. Great circulating loops of human-shaped shirtings process around like flapping zombies in a spooky dumb show reproduction of the gamblers above, the same robotic gestures, animated but with all the flesh sucked out. I'm given a butter-colored chemise, a new color line which has just come in to replace the garnet still widely in use, and a strange black thing etched in gold that goes around my waist, where a purse would be if I were an Austrian cafe waiter. A name tag tells the world that I am Stephen Fry, trainee. Blackjack is universally referred to as BJ without a trace of humor or even any apparent awareness that those initials have another common application. A girl called Kelly has been deputed to initiate me into the mystery of BJ, and she's fierce. Really fierce. I am familiar with blackjack as a player and think myself reasonably competent within a pack of cards, but Kelly's impatience and contemptuous astonishment at my inability to work out the 3-to-2 insurance coverage on aces deal to their dealer, my use of their right hand instead of the left hand to collect money from the left hand side of the table, my slowness in paying out calculation, all this conspired to make me feel more than usually clumsy and before more than usually ham-fistedly. Slap. No, you get it wrong. Sorry, but... No, sorry, not difficult. By the time a group of real players come along, I am feeling hot, bothered, and nervous. Kelly, originally a Vietnamese immigrant, is happy to let me sink or swim. Slowly, after a few mistakes gently pointed out by the seasoned pros sitting opposite me, I start to get the hang of things. Above my head glitter the chandeliers that for some reason Trump is so proud of. $14 million worth of German crystal chandeliers, including 245,000-piece chandeliers in the casino alone, each valued at a cost of $250,000 and taking over 20 hours to hang. Trump is the publicity. An entire 2-year output of Northern Italy's Carrara marble quarries, the marble of choice for all of Michelangelo's art, adorn the hotel's lobby, guest rooms, casino, hallways, and public areas. Yes, it may well have been the marble of choice from doing Michelangelo's art. English was the language of choice for Shakespeare's, but that doesn't leave this sentence, for example, out of the ordinary. And believe me, the only similarity between Michelangelo and the Trump Taj Mahal that I can spot is that they have both got an M in their names. $4 million in uniforms and customs to outfit over 6,000 employees, including one butter-colored shirt as worn by me. 4.5 times more steel than the Eiffel Tower. If laid end to end, the building support palings would stretch the 62 miles from Atlantic City to Philadelphia. The Trump Taj Mahal Casino Resort can generate enough air conditioning to cool 4,000 houses. You see, all this mad boasting says to me is, our casino makes a shed load of money. They can afford to lavish $250,000 on each chandelier, can they? And where does this money come from, we wonder? From profits from the city within a city Starbucks concession? From sales of patent leather belts and onyx desk sets? No, from the remorseless mathematic fact that gambling is profitable. The house wins. The punter loses. It is a certainty. This abattoir may be made of marble, but it is still a place for stunning, plucking, skinning, and cutting said chickens. Hey, but it's fun, Stevie. It's gaming. People want to play, don't be such a Savonarola. Well, perhaps I'm a bit of a grumpy guts today. I'm treated very well, and I do enjoy the dealing parts of the game. The players facing me are grown-ups. They know what they are doing. Who am I to pee on their parade? Still, it is with real pleasure that I leave Atlantic City behind me, certainly that I shall never return. South we drive the taxi and I towards Cape May and the Delaware Bay.